Hello, production people. We're looking at some new gear today. Sennheiser has a new wireless system, Spectera, a single rack unit that can do 32 by 32 bidirectional audio. Yeah, 32 wireless mics all at a single rack space. They're going to do this over Dante, of course. Not a single XLR or AES output on this unit. And secondly, with this new unit, we get a new belt pack. Now, the interesting about both of these things is the fact that they're both bidirectional. So, this rack unit that you see in the middle of your screen here, this rack unit, it is a bidirectional unit that is sending 32 channels of wireless to IEMs, and it's also receiving 32 channels of wireless inputs. I don't know about you, but the idea of 32 microphones all dying at the same time because there's an issue with one piece of hardware sounds like a terrible idea to me. And we'll get into that a little more here in just a moment. Because we'll get into that a little more. Because it sounds really cool, but you're going to be in hot water if you lose 32 microphones. So, is it overkill? Is it really designed to do that? Or is it one of those things where it can do that, but that doesn't mean you should? Let's talk about the body packs a little more, actually. So let me scroll down here. So this is the complete system. So Shure came out with wireless Workbench, and ever since they have, and since they have made the SLX and above series have the ability to RJ45 into it, use wireless Workbench to solve a lot of problems automatically, and even down the channel labeling and things like that. Very beneficial. This appears to be Sennheiser's hold my beer, let me show you how this is supposed to be done kind of mentality here. We've got a new body pack. We'll get into that in just a second. We've got a new software to run on your machine to manage all of this. This is a lot of audio. This is a lot of RF that we're managing here. We've got the base station. This is only one unit, okay? This is one rack space unit here. So you could put a ton of these in what you're accustomed to carrying right now. And along with that, we've got a new paddle. We'll get into that just a little bit as well, because I'm sure there's some magic going on in this piece here. Let's go to the body pack. Let's look at this body pack here. So this body pack is super cool because it is bidirectional as well, okay? So you can now have talent walk out on stage with an in-ear, an IEM feed, and a Countryman, a DPA, plugged into this microphone here. And so you see here in this one spot, we've got an antenna, we've got a volume knob, and if we page over, look, we got a recharge section there. Door opens, we've got a rechargeable battery. Pop over. So this is your antenna. This here is your mic in, and then you've got headphones out to your IEMs of your choice. And so this is going to solve a lot the issue of just having to wear one pack for a mic and one pack for your in-ears. And that's just, this can be applied so many different places. So this is going to, at some point, talent is going to get this, think it's awesome, and then you and I are going to be asked, why do I have to wear two of these? I only had to wear one at, such and such festival or such and such event, production facility, whatever, right? On this set, I only had to wear one. At this conference, I only had to wear one. Why do I have to wear two? And this is cool. So think about this. You've got a talking head situation. You've got all of these on stage. if they're struggling to hear themselves, dude, just plug in-ears into it, hand it to them, and they can have in-ears if needed, right? How many pastors are going to use this system where you plug that DPA in, you've got nice clean audio there, but then they can hear themselves through the same pack? This is going to be very interesting. Now that is, that's one instance. Broadway's a little different. I don't know that a lot of people use in-ears there, but they potentially could with this, right? You only have to hide one pack. You don't have to hide multiple if they're accustomed to using in-ears and some sort of headset-style microphone. You only have to hide this one unit. Now, the other aspect to this is instruments, okay? So you're a guitar player. You've got in-ears. You don't have to mount a pack to your body for your in-ears and then try to mount another one on your guitar strap so that way your guitar, you know what I mean? Now, granted, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that could be a little crazy because if you're wearing the guitar input on your belt and you go to put your guitar down, now you gotta unplug it, whereas you could just, so that's another thing. Like, this is very cool, but it's almost kind of niche in the sense of who's actually going to use this and who's actually going to adopt this. Because again, even if you're a bass player and you're wearing it, and you're either going to have to unplug your in-ear or you're going to have to unplug your guitar, your instrument of choice. So that's something I didn't think about before, but that does save you a battery, right? That saves you an extra cost of a transmitter and a receiver for you to physically wear. So now, like, if you are a lead vocalist, right? If you're the Taylor Swifts of the world, this is probably ideal because this is one pack that you have to conceal somewhere on your person and make sure it performs well and has good range and can be accessed if needed. And you don't have to hide another one, right? And then, I can see this being used in a bunch of different ways. And now what makes this possible, right, is the main unit here, the base station is what makes this whole shindig possible. I think this is just some sort of heat sink off to the side here. I think we've got a headphone monitoring option, a power button, and an option wheel here to change some basic settings. Here is the backplate. 32 microphones all dying at the same time sounds like a great way to get fired. And Sennheiser, I think, has thought of that. So they've given us some redundant power supplies. Okay, so you at least have to screw up twice if you use this. Find two IEC cables plugged into the back of this rack unit. Find two different power sources. And surely if those two power sources die, everything else dies, and it's relatively okay, right? People aren't looking around going, my mics are dead, we can't hear anything. Because that would be terrible if literally all of your microphones and all of your in-ears all died simultaneously, and there's nothing you can do. Now, this unit, again, the back of it, we've got 4 antenna slots. We've got a control RJ45. We also have a Dante primary and secondary. And so that's how we're doing this 32 by 32. They're like, 64 channels of audio. Well, what that really means is 32 sends, 32 receives. There's a 64 channel Dante chip built into this unit. Now, if Dante's not your thing and Maddie is, you've got options. So just to these slots right here, these slots are modular slots for Maddie. Let's see. I think I can scroll down. I think they have some of those. I think they have some of those listed. Accessories and spare parts. So yes. So you've got BNC Maddie, and you also have optical Maddie, and those are interchangeable. Let's click on one here. I think it shows us. Yes, it does. So you see, that's just a little tiny card that will slot in, and then like if you're a Digico guy and you need Maddie and you need optical, that's one way you're going to integrate that into your system. Let's see if I go back. What's in the box? Now, I don't know if you've caught on yet or not, but let's go to the back panel here. So you don't see really. This might be BNC, right? What is that? I don't know if that's BNC or not. Play 360. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that looks like a BNC, but that's that's world clock. All right, so that is world clock, and then there's also a cascade right there in the very middle of the unit. So no true BNC out like a traditional antenna. They're all Cat 5. So let's go ahead and let's look at our antenna actually. So this antenna, today's analog antennas are, basically that. They're a sheet of metal with some form of copper, and you're just trying to catch radio signals. This is not the case. There's definitely some ones and zeros now going on in this hardware here. And everything is being connected over some RJ45 connectors. I'm guessing some Neutrik locking, RJ45. I don't know if this is Cat 5e, Cat 6, whatever. Let's see. It provides continuous interface management and remote control, and is equipped with a rugged RJ45, IP54 protection, and PoE. So is it powered PoE? So it's powered by the main unit then. That's very cool. Now, what's interesting, which I will show you, we'll jump into the catalog here and just the schematics here in a second. So you see, like, it's pretty rudimentary. Looks like every other paddle in the world except for what we got going on here. There's a PCB in here. It's doing some ones and zeros. And again, here is a whole, they're saying, you can't see. There you go. This is the whole kit right there. You've got a laptop to control the software, control the interface, all of the hardware underneath it in that rack. But their claim is, hey, this one rack can do 32 microphones. Now let's see. We've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. So you've got potentially 8 channels of wireless right there, right? So instead of selling you, a piece of hardware that's the same amount of space and only selling you 2 units, well, now technically you can do 8, right? And I think what they're saying is hey, you can, add even more to it if desired. But I think what we're looking at right here is going to be the most common situation, where you have one unit and you've got 8 to 10, 4, 8, and 10 sets of handheld or head-worn microphones. Now let's do this. Let's go back. So like I said earlier, I think anyway, this feels like Sennheiser's Hold My Beer to Shure, towards wireless Workbench, right? So we've got a new software here. which is the centralized user interface for the world's first wide bandwidth bidirectional wireless solution. This is one of those things where it's going to scan, it's going to tell you what's open, it's going to make suggestions, is, hey, put these microphones here, put these IEMs here, and, like these new body packs those are two in the same now. Very interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the actual details of that are. If this is one radio channel, I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if there's two radio signals going to each unit, or if each unit is... I'm not sure how that works. We'll have to wait for further details, or go ahead, check the link in the description of this video, go to this website, do some heavier reading than I can't even comprehend, and see if it makes sense to you there. But yeah, we're talking everything wireless Workbench is, just the Sennheiser version of it, and you are controlling one piece that does all of these microphones and combinations of microphones. And so let's actually go to some examples. So they gave us some examples. This is kind of the most basic example here. All right, this is kind of the go-to. This is what most people will expect. So they have a single antenna setup here. What do we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 body packs. It says up to 128 mobile components can be paired on RF carrier number 1. I doubt that there can't be 128 packs, so I don't know what that references to. I don't know what they consider a mobile component. We'll have to multiple mobile components can receive the same IEM IFB signal. Okay. So something like a choir, right? So you're like, hey, all my altos, I want all of them have a body pack and be able to hear what's going on. That you can do apparently up to 128 of them. So, that's like mix 1, there's 128 packs kind of thing. Mix 2, if they're in different antenna frequencies, then you can do 128 of them are all getting mix 2. So anyways, this is like the most common everyday situation here, where you've got a band. Actually, I don't even think it's the mix 1 and mix 2. I just think one antenna can support 128 devices. I think I said that wrong. One antenna for 128 devices. I don't necessarily know that it's per mix. I think I've read that wrong. So yeah, this is your standard, your 5-piece bands, larger, whatever, right? You've got an antenna, you're in one antenna channel, and you've got a plethora of these packs and wirelesses on your stage being used. Let's scroll down. Okay, so we're doing something a little different here, right? So we've got 3 antennas, we're using 3 channels, and I think this is more of we've got a large area to work with. We're going to add multiple antennas to properly cover this area, because we're downtown in Texas, New York, even here in Indy, and we just need a robust system to fight the natural RF signals that are in this area. So I believe that's what we're looking at here. We've got multiple antennas and multiple antenna channels. However, we're still working with, the basic far as number of mixes and how many packs you can support. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, because now you see they're putting like, hey, this antenna, it's going to run 128 of these packs. This antenna, it's going to run another 128 of these packs, right? And so this is that instance of where it's like, well, if you're dealing with a big choir, a big symphony, you can go, hey, channel A is all my altos just for security reasons, B is all my tenors, or just people in this general area, people in that general area. You can make those decisions as needed. And now, actually, I don't know if you can see this. It's actually, let me scroll down. It's easier to spot. All right, so this is the exact same setup as something that we looked at earlier. And I think I just answered my question. No, I didn't. So I don't know what the antenna differences are, but there's a smaller antenna that we haven't seen. And actually, I need to scroll down so you can even see it. No, I am not an RF tech, but as you can see, if we scroll all the way down here, can I move me? Let's do this. I'll just push me off to the side here. As you can see, some of these systems get pretty in depth. So we've got 4 paddles running, groups of 2 in totally different bands, and you're supporting a ton of these IAM packs or microphones. That's a lot. Like that is, that is a ton. And going back to that choir application, I'm not sure, you've got one person you've got a group of people all listening to a frequency or to multiple mixes. We'll have to see how good this wireless system really is. I just don't understand all of it, but I know this is a substantial leap forward here. Now, we'll have to see, 128 devices. Obviously, that's for groups of things. So you can only still support, 32 headset microphones from that choir, but potentially multiple of them could have in-ear mixes of like that choir section or the overall choir blended together in their ears. So that's pretty cool. Same thing if classical typically don't do the in-ears, but all the cellos could have a mix and so on and so on. So it'll be very interesting to see what industries adopt this the quickest, and who feels like this is a need. Oh my gosh, I gotta have this. Are the corporate guys gonna go, are you kidding me? I can buy 1 unit and run 10 packs with this. Are you kidding me? I can do 10 speakers, in ears and mics through this 1 unit and just plug that in, Dante that to my DM7 and I'm done. Right? I mean, plug that into your DM7, your TF1, your DM3, and auto mixer away. What are you going to do, right? Your M32s with Dante cards, or any option card that gets you Maddie, right, as well. I'm excited for it. I'm also interested. So what's the cost of this piece? We have not been shared the cost of the piece here, and I don't know that we will have it shared. I will actually, just for gigs, right? Let's just see. Oh, so we're on Sweetwater. We are for sale. So, okay, all right. Holy cow. Guys, it's 10 grand. The tiny, the 1U rack space for 32 microphones is 10 grand. $10,000. Bro. Dang. And then the packs are $2,000 a piece. I knew it wasn't going to be cheap, but I don't know if even corporate audio can afford this. Dang. All right, rental houses. Go ahead, buy these up real quick. And please post. Tell us what you think. These are not cheap. It's a very expensive piece to have. So I'm waiting for the YouTube videos, the reviews from other people. I mean, we're looking at a $1,600 paddle here, boys and girls. A $16 paddle, hot new item on the way. Wow. Yeah, so it's expensive. However, if you sit down and you do the math on all of this stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if it semi equals out, because this is 32. Let's say we were going to run just the 32. What handhelds can I put in this system? Right? I'll have to do the math here, because Dante, we're looking at another one, $3,500 down here. ULX D4, 4 channels of ULX is $6,400. So yeah, there's going to be savings there. Let's do this real quick. All right. So this is 4 channels of ULX. This is like the industry standard corporate audio. We're going to have some microphones on stage for a panel talking event, right? You're buying these. Let's see, $6,400. So we need 8 of these units, and $6,453 a piece by 8. It's going to cost you $51,625 just in receivers to get 32 channels of ULX D4. That's a lot of money. Or you can pay $10,000 and get it all in one unit. That's a big difference, boys and girls. That's a big difference. For that price, you could get 2 of these guys here. I don't know if there's a redundance situation in there. I know, potentially, if you're on a Soundcraft, if you're on a Digico, you can have a redundant input, a second input, and I guess if all of these died and you lost all of your wireless, you could probably save a preset that will switch all the inputs for you and continue to go on. But I will say I'm still nervous over having one unit do all of the work like that. But it's 2024. Anything is possible these days. So we will see what the future has for us and see if there's any terrible stories about these, right? We know that these things are going to hit the market soon, and I'm sure, just like anything else in our industry, if it shows signs of failure, we eventually will pick up on that. So, hey, thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions about this Sennheiser system, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'll see if I can answer them. I'm going to sit down and do a little homework on them, maybe a little more research, and we'll see who is using them in the real world, if any at all. And maybe we'll follow up with a part 2. Thanks for watching. My name is Dylan, and I'll see you next time.